that result against Chelsea is why this video has to be done. The race for the top four. The race for the top four. Look, man, shout out to your boy Wenger, man. Because we only have the discussion because of Papa Wenger. So insult Wenger once, call him a voyeur, call him a FIFA World Cup every 2 years merchant. The only reason why we even have the discussion where top four is, I think, because of him. So Wenger popularized top four as being a mini competition in and of itself. And here where we are. It's a super fascinating race for that fourth position. I think there are two teams in it, but because guys have been so inconsistent and nobody wants to pretty much seize the day, aka carpe diem, you could argue that four teams have a generally good chance with what 6, 7, 5 games to go in order to really say what's up, man. So let's just first look at the table. Let's just look at the table first and just see what it go on, man. So there we have it. So we have so Spurs in fourth, 57 points. Arsenal fifth, 57 points. Crazy. So Arsenal and Tottenham both on level points, exactly the same, and they have a huge game to come. United 54 points. West Ham 52 points. So West Ham have 5 games to go. Tottenham and Arsenal have 6 games to go. So it is feasible. It is feasible. But so let's just go one by one. So when you look at West Ham right now, so let's just bring up the West Ham dudes, man. You see, I think that for West Ham, their focus mainly should be on that Europa League. Because I think West Ham have a really great opportunity to really say what's up in the Europa League, and I think they can win it. Because all they have to do is beat Frankfurt, who I think are beatable. Javi, Ball, Atreides, Stacks, and you see whenever you're in the family, anything can happen. So, and West Ham have already overachieved. The fact that they were in that fourth position for so long, and they still can't get top four when they're going up against teams with far bigger budgets in the form of a freaking Arsenal, a Tottenham, and a freaking Man United. I just think shows you why Moyes he's going to be in the contention for Coach of the Year. Because for me, Coach of the Year isn't just about how many titles you win. Coach of the Year is what are you able to achieve with what you have. What is your dud argument? How are you able to say what's up with the tools at your disposal? So we look at these guys' fixtures right now. So what do we have? So obviously they've got I think they lubricated Lyon in France, man. So of course West Ham and bro, the way Chelsea are going, I don't even have any idea. They have Frankfurt, then they have Arsenal. So they have West Ham away. Sorry, they have Chelsea away, Arsenal at the crib, Norwich away, City at the crib, Brighton away. So Norwich and Brighton are winnable games. See, for me, I think by the time they come to the Brighton game or even the City game, I think they'll already be out of it. So, but they can, for me, I just think that especially this game is an L. This game is already an L. And this game these two games can go either way. Arsenal and Chelsea can go either way. But I think they have a great chance to beat Chelsea because it's a Chelsea team who I don't even know what's up with these dudes. Whereas the Arsenal game, so Chelsea are not playing for anything. Arsenal actually playing for something, and they're playing at the crib. So, but when I look at these fixtures, they can beat Chelsea with they're going. They're playing Arsenal's home. They can beat them at home. They should beat Norwich away. This is a loss. This can go either way. But if you have a situation where by the time they get to Brighton, they can say what's up, then maybe, because look, see, it's not that far away. 5 points. They are 5 points away from top four right now, and 5 points can easily go just like that, especially with how inconsistent these guys are, man. So those are those dudes. So let's now look at who should we look at next? Let's look at Spurs. Let's look at your boy Spurs. If let's say betting man is not really betting man. If let's say you were say from what it looks like, who was more likely to make Tottenham, you'd say So who would most likely make top form? You'd say Tottenham. The amount of goals that they've scored, how good the attack looks in a Hurricane and a Son, how good of a manager Conte is, and we'll now see with the fixtures. But what makes this so fascinating is they lost to Brighton at the crib without having a shot on target. So this is a team that can't be trusted. So it would not be wise putting money on them because you can't trust them to say what's up. That's just a fact. You merely cannot trust these guys to say what's up. And if it's as you have for Tottenham, what are their chances? How likely? Not that likely. Because when I started Brighton game, I was like, there's something wrong with these dudes. There is something wrong with the dudes. But let's look at their fixtures, man. And so who do these guys have? So Brentford away. Leicester City at the crib. Liverpool away. You expect that to be a loss. This is the big one. And when we get out, this really is the big one. That is the big one. Burnley at the crib. Tottenham. You see, that should be a win. That should be a win. You'd say that's a loss, but you never know. That should be a win. When you look at these games, Brentford, who've just been promoted and so on and so forth. Yes, it's very tough to play Brentford. You should win that. You're playing Leicester City at the crib. You should win that game. Arsenal, not on the derby, that can go. That's a 50-50 game. Burnley in the crib, you should win that game. Norwich, we should win that game. But the thing about that Burnley game is, Burnley, we may think they may still be playing for something, because they may already be relegated by then, or they may need to be playing for something. But by the time that pops off. But my thing though is that I say, okay, yeah, Brentford, Norwich, Burnley, but then how do you expect Brighton? And they played Brighton at the crib, and not as if they were unlucky. They were roundly and soundly beaten. But then people will say Graham Potter doesn't manage Leicester, Graham Potter doesn't manage Brentford, although that Danish guy, Graham Potter doesn't manage Burnley, nor does he manage Arsenal or thingy. And Graham Potter is a very good manager, and they were tactically beaten down. So you would look at those fixtures and just say Tottenham should be able to say what's up. They should be able to say what's up. And when you, like, basically, it's easier said than done. But Conte he has to say to these guys that if you win all your games, that's it. You win all your games, it's over. If you win all your games, top four is secure. There is nothing that anyone else can do. If we win all of our games, we get top four guaranteed. So I think for Conte, he has to now say to these guys that you have to pretty much treat this as all cup finals. These are all cup finals, huge games. Just try aim to win all these games, and then perhaps you can now say what's up from there. So that's how he has to approach it. But I just don't know about these dudes, man. That's my thing. I just don't know about these dudes and just how much you can really trust them. That's my thing. I just don't know how much you can really trust them. And so let's look at your other boys now. Hold on. I'm still reeling from that loss, man. Wow. That result against Chelsea is why this video has to be done. Because when I was watching like top four, but it's such a crazy, fascinating race. Because I told you, I'm a film merchant. I love movies and I love thrillers and films that have lots of twists and turns, and it's very unpredictable. So what is so fascinating about this is that you can't predict it. A game that you think a team should win, they lose. And a game in which a team should lose, they win. Because all those losses that Arsenal had, the way they were going, they shouldn't have lost them. But they lost them. Chelsea, the way they were going, how bad Arsenal were, forget about the history. You'd say, oh, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, off the back of a win against Palace, amazing performance against Real Madrid. Arsenal playing horribly in their last few games. And they didn't even play well at the bridge. So what happened? That win just turns everything on its head, because now with that win, Arteta now knows that this could not be the hands, because it's the same thing for them as well. It's the same thing for them as well. Let me just pull up the table right now. It's the same thing for them as well. If they win all their games, they're top four. And they say, well, what do you mean we win all their games? Because, so who do they have? So you've got United. You've got West Ham away, tough game. Leeds at the crib, tricky game. Spurs, Newcastle, Everton. And when you look at our opponents, United, who knows? This is a tricky game. This is a tricky game. This is one that I'm not sure I can guarantee an Arsenal win. Arsenal should beat Leeds. This is 50-50. This is tricky. Newcastle away is tricky. The only faith they'll have is that Newcastle will not be playing for anything, so they'll already be safe. But even if they'll already be safe, it's a tricky one. Everton, who knows? Now, the thing with Everton is they could already be safe. So because of them already being safe, cool. They could already be relegated, cool. Or it could be a case where that relegation battle has gone to the last day of the season. I don't think it will, but it could be a situation where it goes to the last day of the season. So the Everton game is, what Everton are you playing? Are you playing an Everton side who have already been relegated, an Everton side who are already safe, or an Everton side who are playing for something? Now, I also be hoping that they're playing an Everton side who are either already relegated or they're already safe. But you look at these things and you say, it's possible, and they're right there. See, North London, but I mean, they're right there. They're right there in there, man. So, it would be an achievement. I mean, looking at how Arsenal finished eighth the last 2 seasons, this has been a market improvement. And yep, I hope my husband, as one of those guys that said, nah, this guy's not going to make up for this, guys are going to screw up. And part of my plan was, yeah, and they're going to have an L against Chelsea. But them beating Chelsea, because it's one of those wins that could renew confidence. So now, who now knows what they're now doing in the next games or over the next 50 games? But that Chelsea win could be a critical. Like, basically, if Arsenal gets top 4, that's Chelsea game, which is what makes it so freaking sick. If Arsenal gets top 4, Arsenal will look at that Chelsea game as being the turning point, as a key thing, because it was against Chelsea in their house off the back of 3 Ls. So confidence was at an all-time low. So then to pull out a win like that, that could be the crucial Salinki that really allows them to now say what's up. I still don't think they will. But I was the same guy who released a video wanting an adoption against them. So what the hell do I know? What the hell do I freaking know, man? And let's now go to now. People will say, "Don't be so prideful, half up. Don't be so prideful," because, and I know what's guys are now screaming at their phones or the computer say, "Half up, don't say it." Said half up, don't say it. Don't say it, you bold amigo, don't say it. But I'm going to say it. I still think United will get top 4. I still think that they will. It's been quite a major letdown. This Ralf experiment of it's going to help do a patch-up job and then go upstairs in the interim. His interim appointment has been a huge failure, a massive, massive disappointment. You can blame Ralf not being flexible enough without a plan B. You can blame freaking the players and so forth. You can blame the fridge and so forth, called Mama Maguire. There are many things you can blame, but it's been a failure. But as much as it's been a failure, it's not 32 games. It's not 33, it's not 34, it's 38 games. So after 38 games, we will know whether he succeeded or failed to get top 4. You don't fail to get top 4 after 33 games or 35 games in the EPL. It's after the freaking 38 games, man. So when you look at it, hold on, when you look at this right now, so look at their fixtures. United. So Arsenal away. Chelsea at the crib. Brentford at the crib. Okay. Brighton away. Palace away. United under normal circumstances, I'll say, yeah, Brentford at home, yep. Brighton away, yep. Palace thinking, yep. Even Arsenal away, yep. Chelsea, who knows? See, but then that's Fergie United. That's the United I grew up with. But the United in 2022 right now with Jerry the Fridge Maguire in defense. I'm not sure whether they beat Arsenal. I know Chelsea are a bunch of bums and losers. I don't know whether they beat Chelsea because that may be the game that Chelsea decided to turn up. I don't know that. I don't know if they beat Brentford. Brighton away, I don't think they will win that. So it's almost as if like you say you're sort of contradicting yourself because you're saying that they're going to get top 4, but there is not a. It's just a great. I say they're going to get top 4. There is not a single game that I can say, oh yeah, that's a win. There's not one. But how about this? Maybe they somehow beat Chelsea. Arsenal, who knows? Brentford, maybe they somehow come through there. Brighton, they should lose that. Maybe they get away with like a 1-0 win. Palace are playing for thing with Palace is they're playing for nothing. Last game of the season, Palace are now thinking about next season and now building through. Maybe United, who will maybe playing for something, can now say what's up. So don't look at things on face value. Because again, look, same thing. It's the same thing that I did. I looked at the Chelsea Arsenal game on face value, and for a second I was like, okay, what if Arsenal beat Chelsea? I was like, nah, Chelsea should win, like, or maybe it'll be like 2-1. But you have to look at that other side. As much as that other side may seem unlikely, you have to look at the other side. And the other side is, what if United beat Arsenal? They beat Chelsea, they beat Palace, they beat Brentford, they beat Brighton. They should beat those teams. They're playing badly, but they should beat those teams. So it's a tricky one, man. And it's a fascinating race, guys. It's a fascinating race. Look at 57, 57, 54, 52. It's a fascinating race. An absolutely fascinating, amazing race. And you would be a brave man to put a lot of money on anybody. Because, because no one is in the driving seat. I can't say, Tottenham. No. Now, Tottenham and Arsenal are in a strong position. They're in a strong position, three ahead of United, and they have a game in hand, so they're in a strong position. And that game in hand is the game that they face each other. So you're saying that if Arsenal win all their games and win that game against Spurs, woo! Tottenham win all their games and win that game against Arsenal, woo! So it's super fascinating. I'm still going to go with United. As crazy and as mad as it may seem, I am still going to go with United. I know it's mad. I know I'm stupid. I know people say I'm a loser for doing it. I'm still going to roll with those guys and let the chips lay where they may, man. But yeah, guys, tell me below now, who do you think is going to say what's up? Who do you think is going to be those dudes? And we'll just have to see what happens at the end of 38 freaking games. Now, if West Ham win the Europa League and gets 4th, Moyes has to be given the Nobel Peace Prize. Thank you for watching that vid. To show your appreciation, cash up your boy. Send your boy a cash up, and through cash up is where I get 100% of the cuts, and no companies take the little 20% or 30% of that cheddar, man. Just use your QR scanner to scan this code, which is the cash up code, to cash up your boy half up, to give the football horse extra cheddar salini, so I can ensure I give you the most amazing content crack every single day. One love.